Hey there, campers. While we're gathering around the campfire, we just want to let you know we are not what you would call experts. What we do have is a love for researching and discussing the lore of cryptids, creatures,
and an occasional spooky woman that can eat our soul.
So if you are in need of immediate help with the chupacabra in your yard, please consult someone else.
Also, this podcast isn't for kids. These campfire stories can contain graphic and explicit content that may not be suitable for young campers, so listener discretion is advised.
While we're gathering
here with my co-host Ryan.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Aloreing, our folklore podcast where we tell you the history and stories of different legend and lore from around the world.
Ooh, all right. Let's get into it. Ryan, what did you find Aloreing this week?
See, this is hard because we just recorded another episode like 2 days ago. So not much time has passed. But that being said, what I found alluring this week is I got a new microphone setup that hopefully sounds a lot better than the last microphone setup. I flew too close to the sun with my last setup. I got like a really fancy board. This isn't what I said on Monday, right?
No,
okay.
You were talking about your scuba diving.
Okay,
and
cool.
The turtle.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I flew too close to the sun, got a really complicated board. It was awesome. It had like a soundboard and all this fun stuff. But I learned quickly that I am not an audio person yet. We're going to get there, but not yet. So it was a little rough.
Wait, so quick thing. Do you still have your old one?
I was borrowing it from a friend.
Okay.
Until I was going to buy my own. And I'm glad that I borrowed it before. Yeah.
Okay. That, it all makes sense now.
Yeah. And
all the dots have connected.
Thank goodness I borrowed it because, man, that thing was complicated. It had like 40 knobs, and like this one has 2 knobs. Microphone volume.
That's all you need.
Volume. You only need 2 knobs.
We need a meme where it's a picture of the remotes people will make for their grandparents.
Yeah.
Where they tape cover like everything.
Yeah.
Except like the volume and power.
Honestly, it was so complicated. It was really nice. Like if I knew what I was doing, it would have been really nice. But hopefully, from now on, I have just some nice, normal audio. Thank you for still listening, even though I sounded like trash for God knows how long.
Oh, I always think your audio sounds better than mine. Thanks for fixing it, Chris. Because, you guys don't know this, but there is a cardboard box that's, cut to fit around my microphone. So the noise doesn't come from the computer to the mic.
That's so
It's
funny.
great. It looks classy AF. So.
Yeah. Well, what did you find alluring this week?
Guess who got their folklore camper club mug? Ooh.
Nice.
Because Ryan and I were like, hey, you know what would be the best thing to do to our listeners and campers? Pit them against each other.
Yeah.
So you can pick if you're team folklore, which is me, or if you're team cryptid, which is Ryan. And it's a great way to show your support and say where your heart truly lies.
Yeah.
And we will remember it and think about it all the
Cryptid
time.
gang is strong. So I'm not stressing at all.
I will get more of my folklorians, as I like to call them. And
Folklorians versus the cryptid gang.
yeah, well, more and more will come with the more people that vocalize if they're
Sure.
team folklore or team cryptid.
Sure.
And the fun thing, I don't know if people know this. I want to do a little cute little Aloreing fun moment fact kind of thing. The moon. So those that were here, as I like to say, before Ryan, when I was first experimenting with Podcasting World, I did the logo with the eye. And when Ryan came, I was like, listen, you're here. You are on this sinking ship with me. Might as well decorate the flag to match what's going on.
Yeah,
So
there was a bit of a rebranding done when I came.
yes.
Kimmy's like, are you a witch? And I'm like, I don't think so.
He's like, maybe on Wednesdays.
Yeah, like every once in a while, but nothing too crazy.
So I represent like the moon, that's the folklorians, and then the campfire is like the cryptid gang.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's fine. But still love cryptids, but
Yeah.
there's this. Pretty much the folklorian is if you like a beautiful, dangerous woman, you will come to our side. And that's all you need to know. And that's all I need to
if you
sell.
just like danger in general, you come to come to our side. Speaking of danger,
Oh, there it is.
You'd get that if you're a Patreon. Let's get to our show this week. Cute campfire sounds. All right. Hello, everybody. I wasn't scrolled to my spot. Here I am. So, can we picture this?
Okay.
You're out exploring the deep woods when you stumble upon a giant hairy cryptid right in front of you. Unfortunately, as always happens, technology has failed, and all you have is a 16mm film camera at your disposal. How would you prove what you saw was real?
Ooh.
What are we talking about this week?
Well, with camping season upon us, it's important to know that you might find yourself deep in the woodlands along the west coast and that there may be a famous cryptid you may run into. Now, don't worry. For the most part, this creature is known to only be active during night and to stay away from people. But take it as a warning if you see large footprints at least twice the size of yours in the ground and you hear howls and cries that aren't your typical wolf or owl. And then do to my image where I need the constant validation that I am decent at art. So look at it. Watch it on YouTube. Come to our YouTube channel. And if you want to see it early, come to our Patreon. That'd be pretty cool to check it out there too. Anyway, so this week we will be talking about Sasquatch, a famous cryptid that is known to be found living deep in the forest stretching the northern California to west coast of British Columbia. This cryptid came into the limelight around the 1950s in America and Canada, but is believed to have been around for much, much longer. So, sorry, I'm a little sniffly, you guys. It's allergy season where I am. Oh, okay. So, I'll try to keep it down on the mouthy sounds. So, the first modern U.S. concept of Sasquatch was mentioned in 1958 Humboldt Times story. This quickly led to the modern version we know and love today. But the legend of the Bigfoot creature has actually been told orally throughout the Salish Indians prior to this news article. I tried to look up how to pronounce it, and I couldn't find stuff, so please bear with me.
I'm proud. You have little pronunciations in your script this time, and I'm very proud of you.
I always try my best. So, the Salish Indians of the Pacific Northwest and Vancouver Islands were the first to use the name Sasquatch, which was derived from the Salish word Sixlax, which means wild men. And in Halkomelem, The name is pronounced similar to Saskatoon. So I may have said all of those wrong. I have tried my best. So according to the Halkomele and other coastal Salish traditions, Sasquatch was a powerful supernatural creature anywhere between 6 to 15 feet tall, covered in dark fur, and seemed like a hairy wildman. It would move silently and it wouldn't make a scene, and if it felt threatened, it would let out a high-pitched cry before disappearing. Shifting forward into the 1920s, there was a Canadian journalist who wrote a series of articles about this wildman. They used the name Sasquatch, which came from an adaptation of the Halkomele tribes in the British Columbian terms, making Sasquatch be the perfect way to describe this creature. So the name was taken. That's what we use. Like America's done, terribly.
As we do.
Oh, Lord. Oh, okay. So anyway, to this day, we still use the word Sasquatch because we obviously just take things and to describe this ape-like man. But due to different legends and lore of this mysterious creature, it has accumulated a collection of nicknames. Do you want to do every other nickname with me?
Sure.
You can pick if you start or if you end. Or if you do
Stone
second.
Giant.
Bushman.
Tree Man.
Devil Monkey.
Skunk Ape.
Grassman.
Momo.
Hill Monkey.
Woolly Booger.
And of course, the most popular nickname for this creature is Bigfoot. So, I'm clearing this up because again, I'm here for art and a good time. I'm not a cryptid zoologist expert. I hope none of you think that about me, because it's not true. I thought Bigfoot and Sasquatch were two separate things, but I'm here to tell you they are one. So in 1958, an article mentioned earlier, a columnist by the name of Andrew Genzoli of the Humboldt Times had recounted a letter from a reader about lodgers in the Northern Californias who discovered a mysteriously large footprint. He thought it would be fun to talk about this mysterious footprint, but it wasn't long until readers became fascinated and wanted to learn more. Campers would write in blaming the creatures for acts of vandalism in the woods or to their cabins, or just to ask more about the mysterious man. Due to popularity, Andrews published some follow-up articles referring to the creature as Big Space Foot. And then, because journalism and, well, that's more like design in journalism, and I won't geek out too hard on that, he removed the space, so Bigfoot became one word.
No.
So, to this day, you'll hear about Bigfoot or Sasquatch encounters, but no, they are the same. Something I had to clarify, and Ryan and I even talked about before this. So, and now I'm going to hand it off to Ryan so he can tell you all about some encounters people have had with this creature.
Yeah, so I want everyone to keep in their mind my little cold opening where I said technology has failed and all you have is a 16mm camera, because there's going to be a lot of that here in my sightings. All right.
Oh.
Yeah, for some reason cameras just don't work around Bigfoot. It's the craziest thing. So, 1967, Patterson and Gilman's short film. So, one of the most famous bits of evidence by far for Bigfoot's existence. Oh, let me put my slide on. Boop.
Boop.
Whoa, I'm getting some static in my ears.
Is it your phone?
No, okay,
Oh.
we're good. Okay.
Is it the aliens? Is it the government?
The
They don't
government's
want us
trying to
talking-
shut us down. They don't want us talking about Bigfoot. You heard it here. You heard it here, folks.
I just need a blonde wig and then we're on to something.
Yeah. All right. So, as I was saying, pictured here, one of the most famous bits of evidence by far for Bigfoot's existence is this. 1967, Patterson-Gilman film. On October 20th of 1967, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin rode their horses through Bluff Creek, California. Patterson was obsessed with mystical beasts and wanted to get some film and inspiration for books on the subject of the mythical creature, and his friend Gimlin was just along for the ride. So they spent the day adventuring.
Delightful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Then, around 1 p.m. that day, a strange scent filled the air, and their horses suddenly started to kick and panic. The man tried to calm them down when they noticed a furry creature walking on two legs about 100 feet away. The two men dismounted, and Patterson quickly grabbed his cine Kodak camera to capture the beast on, you guessed it, 16mm film. He managed to capture a few moments of the supposed creature as it was walking away. In one iconic frame, the creature turns to look at the camera. As you can see here, that's him. A bit of incredible imagery that made the two men household names. This is a still from the video. So if you just look up like the Patterson Bigfoot film, or I mean, I'm sure you've seen it. This is very famous.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one. But with great discovery comes great doubt. Their film was criticized, crazy enough, saying how it was an elaborate prank or just a marketing scheme. Some skeptics even argued that Patterson forged the film on purpose to make a profit. This was because he would charge admission for people to see the film and published a book about Bigfoot the same year.
Listen.
Listen.
From a breakthrough in science point, if it is a prank, kind of dickish,
It's a
right?
little bit of a dick move, yeah.
But from a marketing creative director standpoint, that's some great campaigning you got going on over there.
What would you call guerrilla marketing for Bigfoot?
Marketing that's gone apes. I don't know.
Woolly booger marketing.
Woolly booger marketing. That's it. That's the new name for grassroots marketing is woolly booger marketing. Hashtag it. Yeah. TMTM though.
So Kimmy, here's the kicker, right?
Okay.
So a costume designer by the name of Philip Morris even claimed he sold Patterson the costume of Bigfoot, seen in this film, and later a man by the name of Bob Hieronymus, which is just the coolest name, came forward and said Patterson paid him to wear the costume.
But see, okay.
But, I mean, that's hearsay. Hearsay, Your Honor.
Right. Because, listen, I told you about this when it happened, and to this day, it still makes me laugh. I have this thing, when people lie to my face, I know, so I just take it as far as I humanly can, just to see, like, how long I can string them. And this person, like, lied saying they were, like, listening to our podcast, and that they were our big fans.
He was a liar.
He was. No, we never lie. Yeah. We're honest about everything.
Yeah.
Never lie.
No.
And he was saying how he was like best friends with Ryan and like some of our other friends. You remember this?
I do. Yeah, honestly, I've never heard that person's name.
And I was like,
life.
You don't know this person, do you? And you're like, no. I'm like, I knew it. And and he was only saying it because we were in a group setting where some other people I know that are so sweet were telling me how much they like our show, you know? So I'm one of those people, it's really hard when someone's like, well, I wore the costume for it. It's like,
that viewer's name, Philip Morris, crazy enough, the same man who claimed that he created the costume, so you can't trust him.
Right, exactly. Same. No doubt. Same thing.
All right. Well, with all this criticism and speculation, many of the most esteemed researchers in the field convey that this is the best recorded evidence we have of Bigfoot to this day. Idaho University professor Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum believes that the musculature and limb ratios in the film are way too precise to be forged, especially for a 1967 film. Plus, Gilman never changed any of the details of the encounter. So I have really only one question about that statement. How does Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum know the musculature and limb ratio of Sasquatch?
I'm just going to start by saying everyone has their thing.
Fair.
Everyone has their cup of tea.
Everyone has their cup of tea.
And some people may like to research ape rituals of the more muscular kind. And you know what?
I think. So moving on. This is our second encounter with the infamous big-footed gorilla.
Okay.
What was it? Woolly booger. I'm gonna start calling it the woolly booger instead of Bigfoot. So
yeah, the woolly bugger.
on June 10th of 1982, Paul Freeman, an experienced U.S. Forest Service patrolman and ardent cryptologist, was exploring the woodlands of Washington state. While exploring, he spotted a massive hand and footprint around the Blue Mountains near Walla Walla. With no camera on hand, because no one ever has a good camera, he took a plaster cast of the prints instead. So this is my favorite part. Paul Freeman did not have a camera, but he had a whole plaster kit to make a plaster cast of the prints.
Thank you. Thank you so much, because I felt very confused for a minute.
Yeah. Now,
as a crafter.
Yeah. I would like to say I am shitting on a lot of these stories. I do believe it is possible there is a Bigfoot, but these stories are just ridiculous. So for the listeners who are like, no, Bigfoot's real, that's possible. I'm not taking that off the table, and I don't want you guys to think I'm making fun of all of you. But Paul Freeman had a plaster cast on him and no camera. So, of course, he took a cast, brought it back, and you can see that here on the screen. So, though there was much debate, Grover Krantz of Washington State University says how authentic they are due to the imprints of the dermal ridges and skin whorls. So, a pretty realistic foot, which is very unlikely to forge. So he's saying, due to the crevices, toe prints have prints much like fingerprints, so
Mm-hmm.
that's not something that's easy to make up.
Right.
But good news, this wasn't the end of sightings for Paul. In 1994, during a routine walk through the same forest region, he encountered what appeared to be two Bigfoots tending to their young. And this time, he was ready and had a camera. Quickly, he recorded what could result in a very grainy and shaky video recording, because they all are. I watched the recording.
There's not one.
I watched the recording before this episode because I was going to maybe make it my slide, but it is so incredibly grainy.
Yeah.
And, whoever was holding the camera was straight up, I don't know
you'd
what's
be scared.
I
You'd
guess.
see this.
So, but, I couldn't even get a still frame from it. It was so bad.
When I see Jack Sparrow in costume at Disneyland, I'm like,
Yeah, I guess.
But I also get it.
Yeah. Where was I? So yeah, that video holds much credibility, and that could be because there have been an estimated count of 50 to 75 Bigfoot tracks spotted in the Blue Mountain between 1982 and 2000. So, it's possible. But if it's real, once again, technology has failed, and that was the grainiest video I have ever seen.
And something like, I do want to point out, the problem with these sightings is, for example, I feel like the Flatwoods monster sighting is really good because it's one story, one really good story of what went down, you know. But in looking into a lot of these Sasquatch stories, and these are like the more popular ones you're doing, it's you have to like find information from like 20 different places.
Yeah.
So
there's
you
a
have to
million
like
cryptologists who all watch the same video and have like different opinions on it, and like
right. And then what they do is they take the person and they quote them, and then they do different contexts of it. So it's like, yeah, these can be something that happened, but it's hard because it's like it makes them sound ridiculous. You know, it's like if someone took the context of me saying I love dangerous women from every instance in our podcast and put it together, they're like, Kim's a sadistic gay. And it's like, no, she's actually a very sweet bisexual. But
in context, or out of context. Yeah.
Right. So that's the hard thing with these sightings is like, yeah, because I like to think that they're true, right? Like these people, some of these people seem shook to the core.
Yeah.
It's just like, we try to get all this information for like our short segments, and it's like, it can kind of come off as ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
Oh no, again, you guys are here for a good time. If you want to dive into the world of Sasquatch, be all guests.
Yeah.
We support it.
So I have some really good news though, Kimmy.
Ooh, okay.
So, how good were cameras in the mid-2000s?
You mean like the ones I would use at the school dance with the flashlight?
Yeah. And think of how just beautiful those photos came out. You can make out everything you saw in the photo.
Oh
well,
my gosh.
This photo is from the mid-2000s.
The red circle is the piece
if you can't tell,
of resistance.
That's Bigfoot. We found him.
Right
so,
there.
Sometimes during the mid-2000s, Michael Green, a former U.S. Army tank commander and fraud investigator, was camped out in the 50,000-acre landscape by himself. While in his tent, he started to hear leaves rustling and the sounds getting closer as someone or something started to approach the tent. Then, a low, defensive roar shook the tent and scared Green as he sat terrified in his tent. Now, Green was a skeptic and doubt it was anything other than some local forest animal. So, 2 nights later, he was back in the same forest camping with friends.
You could not.
Yeah.
Like, even if I thought it was just like a man, I would be like, we're never going back there again.
Yeah. But that's when he caught a glimpse of a large bipedal ape-like beast in the distance. He remembered it being about 7.5 to 8 foot tall and was in such shock he didn't even start recording it, because why would you? He had his 4K camera ready to go, but he was in such shock that he forgot to record. These two
Ryan, you need to remember, you're a film person. None of these people are film people. They're like...
Neither are half the videos on YouTube, and they at least can focus. Autofocus existed in the mid-2000s. I can accept Peter and Gilman in 1967. That was a while ago.
But this is too late.
This is the 2000s. We were alive when this photo was taken. So these two back-to-back encounters made Green become curious about what he saw, and he made a determined to capture this creature on film. Week after week, he would return to the same area with his camper full of cameras. Really nice cameras, and they had night vision and thermal equipment. Pretty cool, right? And he would patiently wait to capture the beast. Then in 2009...
Third time's the charm.
I had, in 2009, a 1080 Sony camera. And I was in high school, I think. So, no excuses. He captured the creature and caught it on, of course, the thermal camera, not the real camera, stealing a candy bar he left out for bait. This was all he needed to know Bigfoot was real, and since then he spent his life doing what he can prove the existence of this creature that he did not believe in before. So this is a still from a 3-minute long video. If you'd like to look it up, just type in Paul Green Bigfoot video.
Well, the video's better because, like, you see it move.
Kimmy, it's not that much better. let's be honest with ourselves here.
I put notes on my phones if I think of a meme while we do this, and I put the comment, "How dare you meme?" and it says Ryan disappointed in Michael Green.
Paul Green's on my shit list. Yeah, wait, Michael Green. Sorry, I have 2 different names. Yeah. It's Michael Green. Yeah. Well, while I take a minute to cool down after reading about all these failed camera attempts, we're gonna cut to a quick commercial break. Don't touch that dial, as they said back when Michael Green recorded that video. And we'll be right back. We are back, baby.
Welcome back, campers. As Ryan continued to have his meltdown.
Yeah, we kept talking during the break.
We got it all out. We were like,
I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling good.
Only the rants of the cameras can be heard between us and our editor. Okay, well, we hope you enjoyed that break. It felt like nothing changed. No time was changed. So we are going to talk about the appearance and history of this bad boy. So, appearance-wise, this ape-like man, well, you would have guessed it. Looks like an ape-like human. So standing anywhere from 9 feet to 15 feet tall and weighing in at about 800 pounds, this bipedal ape-like muscular creature with a somewhat human face and man-like body. It has broad shoulders, no visible neck, and long arms. So, like, just think of a creature made in the most recent WWE games.
Gotcha. With
a little bit too much creativity. And you're there. I love that. I don't know what WWE did to have a hold on me at a young age, but here we are. If Becky Lynch ever looked at me, it would be over. Like, Lord have mercy. So, its eyes have been seen to glow yellow or red at night, and its footprints measure up to 19 to 24 inches long and about 8 inches wide. So that's like the average from all the things people have seen, right? And to top it all off, this creature is hairy, covered in long dark hair in shades of black, dark brown, or dark reddish tones. Due to its large size, it can be easily misidentified for a bear standing up at a distance. But if you're worried if it's a bear or Bigfoot, just take one big whiff. This creature produces an awful scent that not even 2000 middle school Axe body spray could hide. It smells like a mixture of skunks, dead animals, and garbage. I forget I'll write these show notes when I'm exhausted, and my little notes, I comment in it, and I make myself laugh when I read them out loud. So behaviors and abilities. Sasquatch may come off as this huge, intimidating creature, but it actually isn't a fan of people, and instead of outright attacking them, they will hermit away in the forest and hide from people, spending their days hiding away and roaming at night not to be seen. Its home has been described to be a collection of nests. I thought I deleted that, but here's a little fun fact for you guys, because I didn't work it into the rest of my notes. Though they are very passive, they do not like when someone comes into their territory. They will throw hands at trees and cause a loud wood knocking sound or even knock them over. Even reported that smaller trees are bent and uprooted or stacked in a weaved and crisscross pattern to mark its territory. So you just like are walking and there's all these trees stacked up and crisscross on top of each other. Just turn around. Just go away. It is not worth it. And then they will even hang entire deer skeletons from high trees so people will leave them alone. And on top of this, they make noises to warn people where not to go. So some of the sounds include howls, screams, moans, grunts, and whistles. So though these sounds can be easily mistaken for a wolf, coyote, fox, or even an owl, the most unsettling sound related to Bigfoot is an audio recording of the early 1970s from the Sierra Nevada mountains dubbed the Sierra Sounds. It sounds like a language of some type, seems primate in origin, and definitely isn't human. Many who have looked into what this sound is still only explain it as a Bigfoot sighting. And I have the sound if you want to listen to it.
I could probably pull it up here in just a second.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, hopefully this works. Come on, new soundboard.
Oh yeah.
Show us what you're made of.
You don't have to play a lot. Just play like a few seconds.
I'm trying. If you want to go on, I'll get the sound here in a second.
Yeah. So while he's getting the sound, the final thing is Bigfoot may seem like a solo type of cryptid, but that's not the case. There are many sightings of them in large groups or even what appears as a family with children. So at the end of the day, it seems like Bigfoot wants them and their family left alone and to enjoy the forest in peace. So overall, I think he's a pretty chill dude.
Yeah.
Chill girl dude.
Here's those sounds. Ready?
In for Nightville.
Fast forward it halfway. That's a night. There you go.
Now we know where we went for tracks and all for sure.
So that's wild.
Yeah. So
I heard
Chris, just take out that first little part. Yeah. But yeah, it's like that weird kind of monkey sounding
a little bit, yeah.
Cry thing. And then the dude recording had the absolute nerve to be like, oh, say something back. I'd be like, we out. Turn around. Walk back. Oh, okay. Now on to my favorite part is history and events. So time to cue some sexy music. So even though Bigfoot just seemed there we go, seemed like a caring family-based cryptid that hermited in the forest, that wasn't the case. This tall, dark piece of mysterious wild man soon became a masculine icon, finding its way into adventure magazines and novels. Stories left and right referred to Bigfoot as he, because he was primal, strong, dangerous, and an overall beast by anyone who encountered him. Even in the 1970s, people were starting to portray him as more of a sexual predator in pseudo-documentaries, amongst other things. Google got dark for a minute, and I didn't expect that, but there's much worse. So, but listen. Bigfoot isn't just a tall glass of mysterious water. As we shift from the 1970s to the 1980s, people saw the other side of Bigfoot. It's important to note that during the 1980s, there was a major shift in how people approached environmental issues. And with more action in both federal policies and grassroots movements, it seemed like the perfect time to have a new, kind-hearted protector of the forest. This led to Bigfoot being less of a sex icon and more of a kind-hearted creature that symbolized protecting the wilderness for generations to come. So a great example that shows this more gentle side of him is the movie Harry and Henderson's of 1987 that shows he is a misunderstood creature that needs protection. I have not seen this movie. I have merely read the synopsis, and that's what I gathered. So I don't know if it's good or not. Rotten Tomato it. We all do it. Nothing wrong with looking that up. Okay. So now you may be wondering, what is Bigfoot? So there's a few different theories of what he could be. Excuse me, where am I? There I am. So what's a popular cryptid sighting without the possibility of it being an extraterrestrial? Some say it has cloaking abilities to make it hard to find, and Sasquatches are just observing people without causing too much attention. Now, I don't think this, because they have caused a lot of attention.
Yeah. Yeah, well, they did the opposite, if that's what they were going for. They didn't do a very good job.
Like, they should have shown up as little praying mantises.
Yeah, no
because
one batted an eye.
No one. None, right? So the next is that they are paranormal. Since they have forest spirit energy, and there have been plenty of encounters of them vanishing right before people's eyes, that's one of the conclusions. Plus, it would make sense with them nearly being extinct species for a nearly extinct species to be around for so long.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of the podcasts I listen to. Oh man, I feel terrible. We did an episode swap with one of them not too long ago. And they did a whole episode on how I'm gonna plug it in.
Is it the Ghost and Ghouls?
No. I'll do this in post, but yeah, their whole theory is that he's like almost like a forest spirit, and that's why nobody sees him. And that, of all of them, makes the most sense, because if it was like just a physical being, like there's no way more people would really see him at this point.
And that's where I land on it. Yeah. And it may be just because I'm super, super into like Slavic folklore and German folklore and Russian folklore. Like, I'm just really into that. And they do a lot more spirit forest things. So to me, that makes more sense. Like, I feel for sure like the Flatwoods monster is cryptid alien. Nothing can change my mind. But Sasquatch, I think it's just the idea that he, and I keep saying he, but that they look like a man, you know? So I think that's why people like identify it as cryptid, I guess. I don't know. Someone that knows about Sasquatch is dying on the other end of listening to this. And they probably turned it off, and it's fine. It's okay. But if you are still here, let's keep going. The other is they're an extinct species of humanoid that survive in isolation. And then it's like, well, we don't know how old they live to, you know. So anyway, I feel like every other theory gets too complicated. Forest spirit's just a very like, done. Yeah. Done. Makes sense. And the final, most popular, is that Sasquatch is an animal and not a natural animal of this world. All experts can gather at the end of the day it's a type of cryptid. And then, of course, people think it's a hoax and to warn people of the forest and its dangers, or a prank that's just been going on too long. So, I don't know. Let's end on forest spirit. I like that one. We're going to stick to that one. Yeah. Okay. Now, next part. So, it's no secret that this wild man won the curiosity of many, and due to its popularity, it wasn't long until you see its face slapped on pretty much everything and anything they could find. So since Bigfoot can't legally sign a film or photography consent form or take anyone to court, the beauty of this curiosity and the American capitalism quickly swept in on this hunk of a wild man and made him a star. Soon museums, shops, festivals, and much more started popping up and were inspired by this mysterious creature. So I have put together a little handy-dandy list of some I've stumbled upon. Because I thought it'd be fun, because why not? And there was way too many. So, museums. Expedition, Bigfoot, the Sasquatch Museum of Cherry Log, Georgia. I haven't been to any of these. One day I hope to. So we are manifesting it. Next, the Bigfoot Crossroads of the American Museum and Research Center of Hastings, Nebraska. Sasquatch Outpost in Bailey, Colorado. And the North American Bigfoot Center in Boring, Oregon.
Boring, Oregon. What a great
Not
name.
so boring. Do you want to do the mascots? I think you'll have fun with that one.
Yeah, so there's Bigfoot's Little Donuts in Huntsville, Alabama. Sasquatch Sandwiches, which is a food truck in Minnesota. And then a place I've actually been to. Yeah.
No, you haven't.
I have. It's called Sasquatch Tavern in Verde, Nevada, which is like west of Reno, like right on the California-Nevada border, like up in the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cute little it's just a cute little restaurant. They're all Sasquatch themed, you know.
Yeah.
And then
that's
also Bigfoot became a mascot of the Western Air Defense Sector, the Washington Air National Guard, monitoring nearly 73 of the United States and Canadian skies. Just like the legend of Bigfoot, this sector is rarely seen or heard, but rest assured it continues to observe and will send out a warning message if need be. Interesting.
Ooh. Well, now I want to go to that tavern.
Yeah, it's fun.
One day I'll come through Vegas when
it's
gas
nowhere,
doesn't.
It's nowhere near Vegas. It's up by.
Oh, it's not?
No, it is. It is like 10 hours away.
Oh yeah, geography is not my
Yeah.
strong suit. Public education has failed us in a lot, and geography was the one thing it did not support me in. But don't worry, when gas doesn't cost my liver, then I will definitely make a trip down. The next is organizations. So these are organizations purely dedicated to the investigation of Bigfoot sightings in the U.S. I only did the top 2. There are so many.
Yeah.
There's so many groups on Facebook. Like, so many. The first is the Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization, BFRO, and it's been around the longest, and it is the largest. And the second is the North American Wood Ape Conservancy. I said that weird. The NAWAC. And then finally, there are a bunch of conference and festivals. And by a bunch, I mean, I found like 40, so I only put like the 4 that had posters I like. So, yay for branding. You've made it here. I'm proud of you. The Bigfoot Days Festival of Willow Creek, California. Fun fact, they have a costume contest and a Bigfoot howl competition. So, love that. The next is Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival in Townsend, Tennessee. I like this one because they were sponsored by Monster Energy Drinks.
Nice.
So they've made it. Monster, if you hear us. No.
Yeah, we also like Sasquatch.
Yeah, just saying. And then the next is Bigfoot Festival in Merino, North Carolina. And then the final one is Texas Bigfoot Film Festival, which I thought you may like.
Yeah.
I assume it's just a bunch of Bigfoot Sasquatch
It's
films.
just a bunch of blurry videos just the whole time. Was your short film you made for your senior project completely out of focus the whole time? Enter the Texas Bigfoot Film Festival.
It'd be so good if the trophy like wasn't screwed on all the way, so it just shook.
Yeah. It was just
You
a
could never
little-
like
yeah,
quite get
like,
it good
there's
in
kind of a
photos.
face. If you look closely, you can kind of make out a face on it.
They put it in the mold and they slid it around. They're like, just don't
Okay.
screw it on all the way. When it
Yeah,
shakes, it will look
yeah,
great.
We'll make it work.
I don't know if anyone out there hears it, but please have Ryan be one of the people that work at that. I'd pay good money
Yeah,
to
Texas
watch him
Bigfoot Film Festival.
unfold in the background, watching all these films. Oh god! So of course this is all the events around him, but the fact that Sasquatch is so popular and has so many events surrounding him absolutely blows my mind. But I love it. We will never have to use... I say we will never. That's wrong. We will have to also dip into this capitalism pool of good old Sasquatch and make some Sasquatch posters or something for for a merch shop. But again, I digress because it is one of those
podcast until you have a Bigfoot shirt. I don't think so.
Fair point. I have maybe I'll put the Sasquatch juice on a mug or something. I just love mugs. That's why I throw everything on a mug. I'm like, put it on a mug. Mug.
Yeah.
But, I'll figure it out later. So, everyone loves this mysterious forest dweller, and it has been a great way to help bring tourist funding to small towns and to celebrate the strange and unusual. To this day, you can still see many different Sasquatch events popping up, from art shows to full-on festivals. So now, Ryan.
Yes.
From what we talked about, I know you want to get into this for modern takes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you want me to wait on this for a second, and then I can bring it up. Or if you want to add to this.
I'm so sorry to throw off track. It was the Hex Files podcast.
Hex Files podcast, yes.
The Skinwalker Ranch episode with them.
Yes. They're
the
absolutely delightful.
They're amazing people. Go listen to their podcast. But yeah, in their Sasquatch episode that I listened to, they got really into how Sasquatch might be a bit of a forest protector spirit type thing. Okay, sorry, I just need before I forgot again. All right,
I'm glad you did. Yes. I'll tag them in it.
Yes.
It's we got there.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Hex Files. I'm so bad with names.
Listen, Hex Files, if you're listening and you feel absolutely betrayed by Ryan, I'll send you one of our podcast stickers. Just message me.
Yeah. All right. Now, what were you saying before I so rudely interrupted you?
Yeah, you were out there. You were I saw the thinking cap go on.
I just remembered. I was like, Hex Files.
So this next part ties into what you want to do with modern takes.
Oh, no. I mixed up my modern takes, so you go ahead.
Okay. I just want to double check.
Yeah.
So I'm not stepping on any toes. Okay. So, with great admiration, people... I said that so weird. I said that like an alien. Great admiration.
You the alien?
With great admiration, people started to go on Sasquatch camping trips and try to hunt down this mysterious ape-like cryptid. And if you're wanting to go on one yourself, first, I highly encourage you to look into expert advice on what and how to prepare. There's so much advice on how to professionally conduct a Bigfoot hunt, and I'm not going to have the time to provide all that information. But hey, if you don't need an expert's advice and just want some fun tips, I've learned from playing Bigfoot hunting game with Ryan. Well, buckle up, because I've got a handy-dandy little list for you. Feel free to tune in.
By playing, she means us getting murdered over and over and over by Bigfoot.
I didn't say that. Ryan said that. So, what's it called in court when you tell them to scratch everything from after handy dandy lifts said by Ryan off the record. And now starting. Ryan, if you would like to add anything as I say the list.
Okay.
Someone get a team together. Teamwork makes the dream work. Even if it's just one person there to help and support you in your quest, you'll be able to have someone else as a credible source and maybe even know something you'll miss.
And if there's one thing we've learned, what you need for your team: 2 people with weapons, 1 person with a camera.
That's it.
All right, that's your team. 2 weapons, 1 camera.
You need the 2 weapons people because one of them will absolutely carry the camera person the entire time.
Yes.
The camera person is there to not get a blurry photo.
Yep.
Because if she gets a blurry photo, she doesn't hear the end of it from one of the other people.
Yeah. Anywho.
Dude, pack check the essentials. Have things on you such as a camera, audio recorder, a journal, a phone. All must. And make sure to stay hydrated. Have some snacks. Maybe Bigfoot likes jerky. Maybe more of a whiskey cryptid like the jackalope. Maybe you like some forbidden milk. I don't know. Be prepared to have something for yourself and maybe even offer to this wild creature.
Yep. Other essentials: deer hunting rifle, shotgun, fireworks to lure Bigfoot, snacks to lure Bigfoot, traps to trap Bigfoot.
Yes. Yeah. In writing this, I may have been the camera person only and have only been given 3 bullets the entire time we'd play and not know what to do. 3. Zip lines are your best friend. Learning to zip line will save your life from danger. It's just a good pro trip, and you look pretty cool doing it.
And here's what you're going to do with that zip line. So, your 2 friends, you're hiding up in a radio tower, right? So Bigfoot comes to the radio tower trying to murder you, and you and your 2 friends take the zip line down away from Bigfoot. But here's the kicker: one of you will take the zip line back to the mountains and get just mauled by Bigfoot. So don't forget zip lines go both ways.
I thought he would have left. I was trying to confuse him, and I'll never hear the end of it. Tip 4, daytime adventure. Don't go hunting for him at night.
No.
Ever.
No.
Like, ever. We personally learned that this is the hardest way to hunt him down. Even though this creature is human-like, it varies in the fact that it's most commonly active and aggressive at night. It's believed Sasquatch is nocturnal, so it's best if you set out to try to find it during the day.
Yeah, the thing is, if you're hunting for multiple nights in a row, he gets more aggressive each night for some reason.
It gets very stressful, and he will pull you through windows, and you will scream because you can't do anything about it. And 5, avoid winter. Try searching for them during spring, summer, and fall. Since this is supposed mating season, because all year round, baby, you'll have a better chance of running into one and finding information.
Yeah, I've got nothing to add there. That's just solid advice.
Yeah, that's just a good one. I figured. I was like, I have to put the zip line in the middle so it doesn't go on too long. For everyone wondering what this banter is, on our Patreon, Ryan and we did 2 plays of the Bigfoot game, and it's been updated a lot, so we need to play it again. Yeah. But it's really fun and chaotic, and it's like our bonus game content we do, because it's just fun for us.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of them is a free video on our YouTube, right? Or are they both Patreon? I think one might be free.
Well, if you go to our YouTube,
we'll find out.
You may find one free. If not, just go to our Patreon, donate $3, just watch it all in 1 month, and then you can bounce. Like, I'm not going to judge you for that. Yeah. I've seen gas prices. I respect it, you know? So, of course, there's actually a lot of actual expert advice on the web. So, again, I only covered what we learned from the video game.
From a video game about actually hunting Bigfoot.
Yes. Because that's how we hunt Bigfoot here at Aloreing. Yeah. we don't go out into danger. We do virtual danger. Yeah. Speaking of which, there's that one ghosty spooky game that I saw was like for a cheaper download, so we may be able to do that one in the future if we get more Patreons. We'll see. Anyway, we're going to completely shift gears to my last segment and my favorite segment. It is time for Is It Science or the Church? Ryan, come on.
All right.
You have lost every one of these that I've done. And
Spirits guide me.
I believe in you.
Today, we are talking about science.
You got it right. I'm
Yes!
actually super proud of you.
Let's go! You waited until I lost my soundboard, but...
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Pablo's hyped. I'm hyped.
Pablo's hyped, though. That's what matters. Whatever the sound is. What happened to your sound? Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. So, with a boom of Bigfoot sightings in the late 1800s to the 1900s, everyone wanted a chance to see this wild man of the forest for themselves. Entire organizations were formed to study the documented Bigfoot existence, and groups would regularly research the Northwest looking for proof of this creature. But without proof, many scientists voiced how this creature is nothing more than a hoax. Here are a few of the biggest concerns that have been voiced about why this creature doesn't exist. Everything that seems to prove the existence of Bigfoot is either lost or unattainable, so there's no way to test it. This is like Ryan's film stuff.
Yeah.
He's very
They
salty
lost about 1 trillion pixels in every video.
It's because they save it as a JPEG and they keep emailing it back and forth on
they keep
Internet
just
Explorer.
Screenshotting over and
Over!
instead of
They
sending the
zoom
file.
in each time
Yeah.
to do the screenshot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The second is whenever alleged Bigfoot samples are sent through vigorous scientific analysis, they typically come back as ordinary sources. Almost all the hair samples or some stool samples turn out to be from other animals such as cows, raccoons, deers, or even humans. So in 2014, the University
Someone just
of
shits in a
Oxford...
bag and brings it to them. Like, I found it! Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's pretty much... That's all you have to do. Imagine being the poor intern that day that has to work on that.
It. Oh, God.
So, in 2014, the University of Oxford in England had a team of researchers led by the late geneticist Brian Skies conducted genetic analysis on supposedly 36 Bigfoot or Yeti hair samples. However, they matched a Paleolithic polar bear or bear hybrid, but was not a primate.
Interesting.
Also, I figured something out the other day. You know how I have a hard time with words? Because I read the whole thing. Yeah. I think the reason I'm good with more scientific terms is because I watch a lot of Animal Planet. So, for people that think it's all an act, I swear to God it's not. I just really, really like Animal Planet. And third, there just isn't enough of them. So for Bigfoot to be around as long as they have, they would need to breed outside of their bloodline to prevent inbreeding. Plus, they need to breed so they don't go extinct and can maintain a population so there can be multiple of them. And then there's so much probability. There's the chance one would have already been killed by a hunter, by accident, or hit on the highway, or we would have just found something like some bone or something, you know, like deceased, a dead bone. A hiker would have stumbled upon it. So that's why science is like, this is no dice for us, you know. But personally, knowing all this, I want to say I believe in Bigfoot. It's just one of those things, even if all the facts are present, there would still be skeptics. You know, like how flat earthers are still a thing. It seems like there's just such strong opinions about the existence of Bigfoot on both ends of the spectrum. Maybe one day, or in the future, or time will tell, whatever, if Bigfoot's real or not. But Bigfoot's real in my heart. And until then, let's just let Bigfoot do its thing. Maybe make a good leave Bigfoot alone TikTok. Spread the word.
I think like to point 3, it could be like, you know, like we said in the past, like maybe it's like more of like a forest spirit, or like like a gorilla leshy or something like that. I don't know.
I love the forest spirit. I
Yeah.
think that's what we're gonna.
Because if
We
that's
both
the
like agree on.
case, yeah, they wouldn't need to breed or like there won't be bones. So
Right.
if Bigfoot is real, that's probably the case. Is
Right.
my thought.
No, I agree with that. That's how I feel at the end of it. Is Bigfoot's just is not so much a cryptid, but a forest spirit to me,
Yeah.
and I love that.
Yeah.
All right, modern take time with you.
Modern Taste with Ryan. So I was gonna talk about the game that we played originally, but as I was like thinking about the game, I just got to thinking about like how crazy of a phenomenon Bigfoot is. Like, because I mean, think about the like thousands and thousands of different cryptids there are in existence, but like
Right.
try and name one that has like movies, video games, books, shirts, songs, podcasts, like
Right.
everything, like, you know. And I think it has a lot to do with the timing of this creature, because as far as I know, this is probably like the most like modern cryptid. I don't think I'm wrong saying that. Like, can you think of a more like modern, like besides like the internet cryptid, like?
Right. Well, I think they're more modern, and what I'm saying is from like what I look at every day from a marketing standpoint, and when I look at the time period, I think the fact is that this cryptid was in the 70s and it was masculine.
Yeah.
And it was like this sexy man forest creature, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what made it so popular. Like, the Loveland Frogman isn't hot. Like, if we've learned anything from this podcast, is like, even me, if a creature's hot, I know way more about it than I should. Just because it's
Yeah.
hot. And I feel there's something just sexy about Sasquatch.
Yeah.
That's why people got so hooked on him, you know?
Yeah. And like you said, like yeah, sorry, the 60s, like around that time, like cameras existed well before that, but around that time is when like cameras started to get like, you know, more portable, like, I mean, at least to the standards of back then, portable, like they were still
Right.
like large and cumbersome, but yeah, so and that created the first photo was super blurry and everything, which only made it like more prevalent. But yeah, and then also just like the fact that it was like the West Coast in the 60s, we had a lot of like
The weird stuff was coming out because people could document it.
Well, no,
you know?
That, yes, that's true. But also, I was watching. There's a really cool. I think it's on Hulu, and it's called like Finding Bigfoot. It's kind of about like in Humboldt County, where like a lot of people go like missing in the mountains. A lot of it is like attributed to like a forest spirit, or like people just wanted people to stop coming to the Humboldt Mountains, and so they created this Bigfoot creature to like scare people away. So I mean, there's just so many different things
okay.
all happening at the same time, which is why I think Bigfoot is such like a prevalent facet
That
of
makes
modern society.
Yeah, it's not just one thing's happening with it. It's like we got sex icon, we got people starting to explore the wilderness with cameras, you know? So like even if you see a person move kind of weird, you could be like, "Oh my gosh, what was that?" you know?
Yeah.
So like it's a way to explain it without it being a ghost, cuz like the time period, there's that. And then you're right, like people are like, "Oh, let's get legends out so people leave us alone," you know?
Yeah.
There was more of a blend of like people. I feel like especially at that time, isn't that when a lot more people started moving to the West Coast too, because of like Hollywood and stuff?
Yeah, in the 60s, like, I mean, there was the whole like, you know, peace love movement, like, so yeah, a lot of people moved out west. But yeah, the documentary I was talking about is called Sasquatch, and it's on Hulu, and it's about the 90s, so it's a little later, but yeah, it's like a true crime. It's very interesting. They
Ooh, I'll
claim
have to
Bigfoot
watch
killed
it.
3 people in the Humboldt Mountains.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna watch that. Edgar and I need to finish Under the Banner of Heaven tonight, and then that will be my next one. And that one's really good.
Nice.
As an ex-Mormon, that one's
Yeah, so I've heard.
no, but yeah, no, I think you're right. I think there's just so much happening at once. It just stuck,
Yeah,
you know, and great cryptid to stick with.
it is. Yeah,
And
he's the hide and
I love
seek
it.
champion.
I love it
Thanks,
so
Mom,
much.
for the shirt.
Thanks, Ryan's mom, for the shirt. Oh, fam, got her right. One of these days when I visit Vegas, I need to like go talk to your parents about making like a cryptid wine bottle or something.
Oh,
'Cause
they
I
would
would
love that.
I'd be like, I will give you the art. Just give me one bottle. I'll make
Yeah.
whatever you want. All right. So now, we're gonna do quick announcements. But guess who didn't write announcements?
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't think we had announcements today.
I guess I'll just say, thank you everyone for supporting our show this last year. We
Yeah.
have officially done 1 year. Our
Really?
1 year
This is 1 year?
celebration. Yeah.
Wow.
So 1 year of podcasting together.
Look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
When did we start like actually doing video?
I want to say we didn't start maybe like August.
Oh, okay. I just want to see like our first video versus like now. It's probably so
Yeah.
much better.
Probably. We'll see. I wear way less. The makeup digresses in each
Yeah.
one. 3 more episodes, I'll have a face mask. Just you wait.
Yeah. In the first episode of Aloreing that I was in, I was using a blue snowball microphone. And now I'm using a Rode podcaster mic with an audio interface and all sorts of bells and whistles. We've come a long way.
Oh, and it's been so fun. And like, I don't know. I'll take a second and just say like I very genuinely appreciate all the support we've been getting. Like
Yeah.
the fact we have people that want to be on our Patreon that they're like, you don't have to like post stuff all the time. We just like supporting you. Like really means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's so nice. Like, we have people, like, making us stuff. Like, do you, I don't know if you have it near you.
Yeah, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah.
This is
Like,
this is a
I've never
great
had a
time.
community
Oh my
like
goodness.
this where people are, like, just so excited about what we do.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
like, I
Okay,
think we
so-
just have the best community out there. So, yeah, here's what got made. Look at this. Look at this.
Look at this. Oh, you can see my show notes. I'm so
That's okay.
sorry.
There you go. Right there. Right there. Look at
Right
that.
there. Oh, look at that.
That is a
Oh my
cross
goodness.
stitch. Like that had to have taken absolutely
Yeah.
forever. I couldn't imagine.
Oh, look at it. It has our names
I
on
don't
it.
know.
I don't know if she
I
wants
wanna
us to
the
say her
name, so I'm
Yeah,
not
I don't
gonna
know if
say
she
it.
wants us to say our name, but
you
we've
know
tagged
who
her
you
on
are.
social media and her art account, and
Yeah.
it made me cry. I was having a very rough day, and she was like, I left it at your doorstep for you. And I, like, this was before I opened it. It was on my doorstep. I'm like, okay, I'll wait for Ryan to show him when he comes back from vacation. And then I was having a rough day, and I, like, looked at him like, I'm going to open it now. And I opened it and proceeded to cry. Because
Yeah.
it was just, like, it's so sweet. You guys have just been so sweet and so supportive about, like, our whole journey. And holy shit, like, we just love you guys. We love our little campers. You
Yeah.
guys make our hearts very happy.
Cryptid gang.
Folklore gang. No, it doesn't
The
sound right.
fol-
Folklorian.
Folklidians.
Folklidian. I need a shirt. I need like one of like the really basic bitch text shirts, you know,
Yeah.
where it's like the Helvetica font,
Yeah.
and it's like folklorians, folklorns,
Yeah.
folklordies, four glasses. Just see how far I can go. Oh,
All right.
okay.
Let's get to this alluring alignment chart.
Yeah. Stop with the tenderness.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have two different Bigfoots on this.
Yeah. Is that the camera?
So, yeah, see how blurry it is? So, orange Bigfoot is my normal Bigfoot. The forest spirit Bigfoot, I think, is just living in the woods, being a little forest spirit. I don't think they've got any laws because they're living in the woods, but they're not hurting anyone.
Right.
Now, if we're talking the game we played together, Bigfoot, that hunts for sport, that is pure chaotic evil.
1000%.
I have been RKO'd, choke slammed, eaten, clotheslined, trees dropped on me by that Bigfoot. That Bigfoot has nothing but malice in its heart.
I want a shirt with Angry Bigfoot that says "Heart full of malice." He has like angry eyebrows. No, I agree. I would actually move mine more to good after our discussion and the whole like him just being forest spirit. He's just doing his thing.
I think where you have it neutral though is right. Like no one really knows, you know.
Right. Maybe he's a dick in forest laws, you know?
You can't see it in the blurry photos, but in every one he's just flipping them off.
Yeah. Maybe like when he's roaming the forest, like deers hear him and they'll be like, fuck, they're like, what is it? Sasquatch? And it's like, did you get him the Axe body spray? I did. He just doesn't wear it, and I'm done, Greg.
Here comes
I'm
the
so
woolly
done.
booger.
Hey guys, hey Sasquatch.
In a millennium.
Oh, that's so great. Wow. Okay. What are let's end with our two takeaways. Sasquatch is really a forest spirit.
And practice your camera work ahead of Sasquatch hunting. Because I swear, if in the year of our Lord 2022 somebody gets a blurry photo of Sasquatch with how good cameras are, I'm coming for you. And that is not a threat, that's a promise.
Okay. Sasquatch is a forest spirit, and any blurry photos of him will result in Ryan's pure aggression.
Yes. Just turn on the focus on. It's not that hard.
Thank you all so much for listening. This has been Aloreing.
You have an Aloreing day. Get those camera skills up, and we'll.